So here I was, this little country boy from South Georgia, and I'm on a stool, and I'm at the Joe Louis Arena in front of 20,000 people. I remember before I went on, Kid Rock called me to the side and he said, "Now listen, Bart, you don't gotta go out there and just give them all originals, warm them up a little bit. You can sing a cover song if you want to." And I remember looking at him and saying, "You know what, Bob, Johnny Cash and Waylon and Merle and all those guys, they made their mark, and they did it with their songs, and if I'm gonna make my mark here, it's gonna be me doing mine." So I sang my songs, and I got a standing ovation that night. Learning to sing such a young age, just as soon as I could wrap my fingers around a guitar neck, I was learning how to play it. I learned how to play the piano and other instruments, and then I remember everywhere that I went and played and sang, there'd be some old redneck or old farmer in the crowd jumping up saying, "Man, you too good for this. You need to be in Nashville." See, the Dream Train actually began when me and my brother got an old car and left South Georgia, went out to Branson, Missouri, and we were sleeping in that car and eating potted meat. We finally got a chance to get in the studio and record a demo. It was being produced by Jimmy Rogers at the time, and that's when I sat down and wrote the song Dream Train.
Yeah, I hear the train a-comin', and it's rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine.
After we got through recording in Branson, we took that demo and we went to Nashville and some other places, kind of hit some walls with the music, because at that time pop country music was exploding, and so we went back home, and we was back in Georgia. We was playing music, and Brett came to me. He says, "I found the person. This is it, Bart. This is the one. This is it. This is gonna be the big one. There's this rapping rock star. His name's Kid Rock. He's from Detroit, and if you read his bio, man, everything about him is just like you." So I called a friend of ours, Stevie Holland from Molly Hatchet, and Luke Smith from LSB, and we went down and recorded some tracks, and I gave them to Brett, and Brett, took off and set a meeting up, to meet this guy, and when he got there, all the tickets weren't in place, and the meeting just went kind of afoul, and he wound up chasing the bus, and you all know that story.
Times were tough back in 35. That was me and your Uncle Joe just trying to survive a cotton farm and a Great Depression.
Brett came back, I remember, and he says, "Bart, he's gonna call, and you can believe this, he's gonna call because it's fate." And I said, "Man, that guy ain't gonna call us, man." He's like, "You'll see, it's fate." And sure enough, one day we were working down in Florida, Brett and I, and the phone rang. I answered the phone, and said, "Hello," and the guy said, "Hey, is this Bart?" I said, "Yeah." "Hey, this is Kid Rock." I didn't even believe it to start with. I said, "Yeah, right, some trickery or something, It was him.
Where I am don't fit my shackles. Where I am, reality, and I can almost see the old barber dancing. I just dream to keep on being the way I am.
At that time, we started playing again a lot. Because like I said, that whole thing, Kid Rock breathed a lot of life into things. Because it made me think, I think he was the first big shot that ever paid attention to me like that, and for no reason at all. There's no reason for him to do it other than the fact that he really did like my singing. He really liked my songs.
Your mama once was lost and found. Now she's pouring Jack Daniels down. Oh,
I've always thought that one of the biggest successes in country music has always been that people just related to it. There's just something about that, knowing you're not all by yourself, you know. Nobody writes songs about being poor no more. Nobody writes songs about drug addiction and that type of stuff. And sure, we all have a lot of fun. I love to have fun too, you know, and I write songs about having fun. But, you know, one of the things that I feel like we're just absolutely determined to do, and that's to write songs about the truth and tell people about things that I've been through in my life that might help them get through things in their life.
I know it's time I slow my roll.
I wrote a song called 28 Days about a stint I had in a drug rehab, and I can't tell you the hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of people, actually has been thousands of people that's come up and said, man, that song was just, it touched me. I related to it. I'm going through this, I'm going through that, you know, and I never miss that opportunity to say, well, let me tell you something. You should have seen old Bart. Man, I was a mess, you know. But you don't got to live like that no more. Man, you can have a beautiful life. You can have a beautiful wife. You can have anything that everybody else has got. But it'll start from your knees. You'll have to get to know that big old God up there. And that changed everything for me. I'm not the same person that went in there. You know, I went into prison broken, broke down, you know, in a wheelchair. I met God, and I walked out of that prison, and I pushed that wheelchair. I got right back on my dream train again.
She said, Jimmy Rabbit, turn her on to my last album. That was just about the time the jukebox broke.
At some point, they started calling me an outlaw. I made it easy on them. And I was missing planes and late for shows, and you know, went to jail and prison, divorced. But that kind of behavior, that ain't really what defines me today. You know, I just don't live like that no more. But I heard somebody say, you know, if you want to be an outlaw, then the best thing you can do is go to Nashville and sing a country song. So, you know, I don't know any other way to sing or any other way to write. I tell the truth, I write the truth, I write songs about my life, and you know, it is what it is. And the only kind of music I'll ever play is country music. If that makes me an outlaw, then I guess I'm an outlaw today. Still an outlaw. Bart Adam Young.
That's South Georgia, guitar on my back, song in my head, some clothes in a sack.